Welcome to the Nick and Nick podcast. This podcast is sponsored by Royalty Roofing and Siding. Crown your home and your commercial property and then wrap it with royalty. Today we got a guest on the podcast. His name is Joey, I'm going to get this right, McKernan.
You got it.
He's the founder and CEO of Equip Global. First of all, thanks for joining us on the Nick and Nick podcast.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having us.
I've been working with some of your clients,
Yeah.
meeting with them, having them on the podcast.
Yeah.
I think Nick knows you from different circles, but thanks for being here, first of all. Looking forward to this conversation.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? I know you're in the nonprofit, right? Tell us about Equip Global first.
Yeah.
And then give us a little bit of your background, how you went from, I think you were in the, I just read the, Midlands Business?
Yeah, journal.
Yeah, I just read that, so I got a little bit of background on
Yeah.
you. So why don't you just bring our audience up to speed, if you would?
Yeah. So I started Equip about 4 years ago.
Okay.
I came out of the sector. So we're basically a consulting and tech firm. So we work with nonprofits,
Okay.
mainly with fundraising, capital campaigns, major gift programs. So that's the consulting side. So we
Okay.
do that. We also have fundraising software that they use. So like
So did you guys
CRMs.
create that?
We did.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yep. So we kind of two sides to us, but our goal is to help nonprofits thrive and
Okay.
grow, raise more money.
So is Equip Global a nonprofit or is it a for-profit?
No, we're
Okay.
a for-profit.
What's your background in the nonprofit sector? I know you've been kind of around the block.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, through the ringer. So I was 15
Is that
years.
right? Around the block, through the ringer, it's a
Through the
fine line,
ringer.
huh?
Yeah, I was about 15 years in the work. I started at Open Door Mission, kind of
Okay.
did a bunch of jobs there, that's where I got my feet wet. And then I was at Abide for about 9 years.
Okay.
And played a variety of roles there, executive director, development director, stuff
Okay.
like that. So was in it, did it for a long time. And then, we started our firm and we said, who do we want to help? And nonprofits made sense. So
Okay.
get to
Who's
do that.
we?
Yeah, so Jessica Moreno-Krenz,
Yes.
which you know
that's
Jessica.
who I've been connecting with.
Yep. So she's on the leadership team there. And then we have a group of consultants and software developers that are on the team.
Okay, that's awesome. Where did the idea, or was there some type of void in the nonprofit industry that kind of led you to start Equip Global in terms of the fundraising arm and the business side of it?
Yeah, so 80% of nonprofits are financially cash flowing, struggling with cash flow. So we saw the gap of, maybe not the big ones, I know you mentioned like Project
Right.
Harmony
Yeah.
and some of these bigger ones, but like majority of nonprofits are financially just floating,
Okay.
trying to float.
Okay.
And so the cash flow issues are rampant, trying to sustain, trying to pay staff. And so saw the gap all the time. When I was at Abide, it was like my last year there, and we
Okay.
started kind of helping some nonprofits, and we
Okay.
started just meeting with them, and more showed up, right? So there was
Yeah,
definitely a
looking for
need,
help
and
and
they're
looking
like
for
looking for
support.
help, trying
Yeah.
to figure out how to raise money. And so there's definitely a demand and a need. And I would say the business side of nonprofit is really where I saw the gap. And so that's what we wanted to help with.
Now, you mentioned the CRM that you got. Are you
Yeah.
a tech guy, or what's your background, generally speaking, in terms of?
I like tech. I'm not a developer myself,
Okay,
but
I was gonna say.
but I love it. And Zane on our team does a lot of our software stuff. But we see technology being really important with our work in fundraising because the tools match the work we're coaching them on.
Line.
And so, the CRM, we wanted to make something that was usable, but had full feature, but was affordable. And so that's what we created.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Your answers are simple and concise. I like it.
No.
So how has Equip Global, when did it start? You said
Yeah.
about 4 years ago. How has it evolved over the last 4 years? And is it exactly where you thought it would be, or has it evolved in a direction that's maybe a little bit different?
Yeah,
or
that's
it's
a good-
taken off in one direction?
That's a good question. So 4 years ago, it's like 22.
Yeah.
We started meeting with nonprofits. They say, how can we help? We initially started with me just coaching them. We were coaching them on cash flow, major gifts. That was kind of our first program we developed. Was a coaching program we still run called the Thrive program.
Yes, the
And so
9-step Thrive program.
So the 9-step program. So we still do that with
Okay.
over 60 nonprofits in the Omaha area.
So you created that, or that was something
we created that.
Okay.
Yep. So
developed
that's what we were built on, was
Okay.
the coaching
That's
model.
the foundation. Okay.
Yep. And so that grew into, which I also have experience with, like campaigns and capital campaigns, but we didn't start on the business side doing that. We now do that.
Okay.
And so we do a lot of campaigning, capital campaigns. That we grew into that because that's a lot.
Right.
So
Does
is
that
it
include churches?
some. We do some churches, not a ton. We kind of stick to our lane, but we do some churches when they need it.
How would you define your lane?
Nonprofits.
All different kinds?
Community-based nonprofits, really
Local?
those that are so local, but also so we have growing into 2 locations. So we are currently in Omaha. We're also launching a second location in Phoenix,
When's
Arizona, in about a month. I know. So we do all the same services, the tech and the software and the coaching and all that stuff. We do that, and we'll do it more in Arizona. So
how did you decide to put with Phoenix?
We had a team member that was a consultant online that lives in Phoenix, and so she stepped into that role, and she's going to step in to build that market for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk to us about some of the the services that you guys provide. You mentioned about the fundraising. You also have workshops. You also got this Thrive thing.
Yep.
What are some of the services that you're providing?
So again, I think from a service side, the Thrive program is really important.
Can you explain the 9-step
Yeah, I can.
program?
So the Thrive program is really, there's 2 sides to it. We really help them build out a model that we've licensed, and it helps them develop their major gift pipeline. So from major givers, major donors. And so those tend to be, business owners, foundations, wealthy individuals. A lot of nonprofits just don't have a model. They don't know.
They're just on passion and mission alone.
They're like, hey, just go raise more money. Raise $1 million.
Right. No strategy.
We don't know where to go. So we license this model. It has that 9 steps in it. And we basically integrate that 9 steps into their organization for about a year. And so we work with them. We walk step by step, phase by phase with them. Who are they approaching? How to pitch, how to package, how to market. So we coach them through that whole thing. So that's a lot of, from a consulting side, that's a huge part of what we do with especially the smaller nonprofits. We want to help them grow that model. Then we have the campaigns. Now the campaigns are, I want to build a building and I want to raise $10 million to go build a building, whatever. So we lead the campaign. So they hire us for the consulting, the strategy. Sometimes we attend the donor meetings and help them with the pitching. We work with the financial models in that, marketing, everything it takes to get a capital campaign done and through. And then obviously the software. The software is easier because we built it, so now we don't have to facilitate it as much. But we really believe our CRM is a great tool, and it really complements the 2 other services well. So
a bit of a niche market, I would consider, in terms of fundraising and building business. What's your background in that area? In the business and in the fundraising and the.
So my dad was in business growing up. He was in construction and painting. I had a business mind, but then I got dumped into the nonprofit space. And so I always leaned towards operations. I leaned towards numbers. I leaned towards strategy. And so when I was in the work, I was more operations, fundraising. Like, how do we sustain these missions? Like, a lot of them struggle to sustain. And so I was a major gift officer in a church raiser and an individual raiser myself. And so I learned, the nonprofits I came from didn't really raise from foundations. They didn't go to big foundations. They went to individuals. And so I learned that skill, which was very different than grant.
And is that what you pretty much integrated to the clients that you work with?
Especially in the Thrive program.
Yeah.
So we don't do grant writing. Like, we don't do that. And we partner with a great firm in town called Fox Creek Fundraising. They're a grant writing firm. So we have a great relationship because they're great at grant writing, and I don't want to grant write that much. I try not to. So, we stick to our lane in kind of that individual donor lane. But that's what I was trained in.
And then how did you develop this Thrive program? Where did it come out of? Your experience with Abide?
Yeah.
And who were you with?
Open Door Mission.
Yeah, Open Door Mission.
Basically mirrored it, said, okay, what did we do? Because we were doing it in the trenches, right? And then how do we productize that? And then, how do we conceptualize it in a simple, and make it simple so that if I'm starting a nonprofit, I can just understand it, and not just go fundraise. That doesn't help them. They already know that. So, that's how we built that model.
So let's say I have a nonprofit. I reach out to you. How does the process actually work in terms of how do we partner together? How does it work from A to Z, if you don't mind? I've never seen anything like it. Is there many of these organizations that do what you do?
I think we're a hybrid a little bit of like a couple different ones. You know, I think there are people that do only campaigns,
Right.
and there are people that only do CRMs,
Okay.
you know, software. We kind of are a mix a little bit of them. So if you're a client, you come to us or a potential client, we're going to go through kind of a discovery call, like a sit down and say, you know, what is the best way our company can help you?
Right.
And sometimes that doesn't always match to what they think it should be, right? They kind of have different
Right.
thoughts. So I start consulting them even before they hire us of saying like, you shouldn't do that.
Right.
Or we're not there yet. You know, I want to build do a capital campaign. It's like, we're not there,
Right.
you know, and or sometimes we are. And so they'll approach us and say, you know, we want to raise more money. What's the best way to do that? So we're going to think through and we're going to kind of advise them, do we think the Thrive program is your best move here? Or do we need to run a campaign, you know, which is more expensive naturally, but it's probably for the bigger ones, you know, more larger groups.
Can you give me an example who something like that would work for and who the Thrive would work for?
Like a Thrive, like an actual nonprofit.
Yeah.
So we have people, I'm trying to think of a client in the Thrive program that, so shout out like Bike Walk Nebraska, which is an up and coming nonprofit, smaller. Kate Dumas, she's amazing. They're amazing. Julie Harris, they are a growing organization. And so they're in the Thrive program. So we meet with them monthly and we just keep building their models out.
What are some of the 9 steps in that program?
Yeah, so first thing would be to understand where to attract donors from. So like, where do you get your donors?
What demographic?
Yeah, like where do you find them? How do you get in the room with them?
This is 101. This is fundraising 101.
I know, it's like, how do you get in the room?
Right.
And that's a great question, right? So we give that model of like, here's ways we can get in the room. Here's ways that we can find the people we need to connect with.
So this is coaching. This is
it's
consulting.
Deep. Yeah, like we're deep in it. Like, where do you find people? Are they the right people? Like, how do you, maybe it's cold, maybe it's warm, it depends. And then we go into kind of like a packaging, marketing. What are we pitching to them? What are we giving to them?
Yes.
Right? All that stuff. What if the donor says no? What if they get angry? You know, all those things. And so we go really in the weeds of kind of building that pipeline up. So
that's awesome. Yeah. That's the Thrive program. Okay, then the other, give me an example of the.
So then the campaign. Yeah. So, okay, so we're currently working with the Elkhorn Athletics Association. So
Elkhorn, okay.
So great group, amazing group, larger group, right? They're looking to build out a capital campaign, and they're continuing to build kind of their new buildings and new areas.
Structures,
and so we bring in our whole firm, right? We bring in all of our campaign strategists, myself, our admins, and we say, how are we going to run this campaign? And how are we going to get it home? And so a lot of those types of groups want to raise anywhere from $10 to $30 million.
Okay, so this is...
We're going to need to get into it. We're going to need to bring the team.
It's going to be a process,
It's going to be a process. It's going to be, I mean, there's a lot of components to a campaign like that. And so it's not just me.
Okay.
But Thrive is usually just a coach.
Yeah. Okay. So I see the two ends of the spectrum, and then you got everybody in between as well.
Correct.
And that's how you've kind of positioned yourself to be able to cover the whole spectrum.
Correct.
Startup and these, these
larger
major fundraising opportunities. Can you give us maybe some? I know you work with Dave and Carol Kinlow.
Oh yeah. Carol's
we know
house.
them personally.
Yeah, we love them.
Are they launching some? Are they? I know they moved. I don't know if they're still doing Carol's.
Still there. Yeah, I was just on the phone with Carol yesterday. Shout out Carol. We love
Carol's
Carol.
House of Hope, absolutely.
We love Carol.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do multiple things with them. We do coaching, consulting, little bit of grant support. They are one of our grant support groups. We've done a bunch of stuff with them on different levels, campaign type stuff versus coaching versus, even like the software we're talking about. So like we're all over the map with them.
Okay, that's one example. Can you give me another example of a client that you guys have serviced? Maybe you started them on this end of the spectrum and you've helped scale their nonprofit to wherever they are now.
Yeah, good question. So I'm trying to think of Envision Academy with Kristen Onis, great group. We've worked with Kristen for years.
I've met her.
And she's grown Haya Ministries with Amanda Lawrence.
Okay.
So we helped file her actually. So we were at the beginning.
Before they even...
Yeah, me and Amanda, we're on the phone talking about getting this filed, and then we've on and off coached her throughout that process. And I think they just got a house for their program. And they're putting families in that. I mean, amazing mission. And so we've been in and out of their journey with different services. So but they've grown a ton. I mean, there's a ton of them, but I just can't think of it. I mean, those are like the ones that pop in my head.
Right, that's good.
Yeah.
I know you have workshops. You guys offer what kind
free.
of? Yeah. Tell us about these workshops. Are they available just to the Equip Global clients, or are they? Let's say, I mean, because we have a nonprofit here as well.
Yeah.
Really know nothing about the space, but just are driven by a mission and a vision in terms of supporting and helping the community.
Yep. Yeah, so they're completely free. They're free to the whole nonprofit sector. People register, they bring their team and their board, and then obviously the staff, and like the ED or CEO. It could be, we've had groups that are, ideas, like they're like wanting to start a nonprofit, all the way to, we partner with the Nebraska Diaper Bank. They're a client of ours. Love Tegan and the team there. They, are a growing organization that's just taking off. So it really, the spectrum is wide, but the groups we bring in to speak, the people that speak are nonprofit executives, ex-executives, or people that have been in the sector for decades.
And what are some of the workshop titles, or what will,
a lot of grant writing. We'll bring in foundation heads, so people that are givers. So a lot of times we talk about fundraising. A lot of times we talk about grant writing. A lot of times we talk about pitching, marketing, understanding the financials. We did a financial one recently, and if you know about nonprofit financials, they're more complicated, and you have to really make sure the financials are clear for donors and stuff like that. So we do a lot. It realms in the capacity building, money making, marketing, finance, stuff like that. That's awesome. Where we lean those.
Yeah. So you mentioned you're going to be expanding and growing into Phoenix.
Yeah.
What does the future look like for Equip Global in terms of the next 5 to 10, as you see it?
Yeah. My
your wife's on board too. I think I've seen that.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's her role?
Kids. She takes care of the kids. But she keeps me sane. She's my therapist. Man. As you know, growing a business is fun and challenging. My goal is to be in cities. Yeah. And
what does that mean?
We scale out. So we basically take our model and then we hire the team and we
duplicate it.
We duplicate it. We launch. Typically, it's a fundraising consultant. So that's who we're targeting.
That's where you start.
You have to have that person because our whole model revolves around that person. They can sell the CRM. They can also do the coaching if they need to. Like they're flexible.
Right.
So we hire that person and then we're just duplicating the model. It's going to be skinnier than Omaha, a little bit leaner, but similar concept.
Where do you see the next one? Or do you have any ideas?
So we've targeted Dallas and we've targeted Kansas City.
Okay, so you're looking at the bigger markets.
So Phoenix they have like 24,000 nonprofits market-wise, a lot more than we do.
Okay.
And then Dallas.
What do we have?
Dallas, about 7,000.
Oh, okay.
Which is still a lot for a Midwest kind of mid-sized city. Dallas has a lot, but we try to target cities that we understand. And we're starting to look at that. Like, I get those cities. Like they're not Omaha, but they're cousins.
Right.
Midwest. Kind of up north and south there. So we don't look at cities like a New York or something. Like it's just so far out of our zone and how they structure out there. So,
who would you say would be an ideal client for Equip?
Any 501c3. We don't really work with. We don't work with a ton of churches. Like I kind of pick our spots there. If I know the pastor or something, like I might help them out. But really, any community-facing nonprofit that's trying to raise money, that's a good client for us. I mean, that's got $50,000 in the bank, maybe, or they're bringing in millions of dollars, but they're trying to figure out how to grow or run a capital campaign or whatever. So, we don't do anything with businesses. We don't work with businesses.
Only nonprofits.
That's it.
So, an ideal.
That's all we do.
You prefer finding somebody that's starting from nothing, right? Or does it not?
Doesn't matter. Either.
Okay.
Either. In the beginning, we were more working with startups. That was just our niche. And I think we still grow there, but like it's both now.
Yeah.
So we work with both.
Any upcoming events that you have going on? Whether it's workshops, whether
we do have a workshop. You're getting my dates. I'm the worst person to ask about this. Jessica would know.
You know the topic?
August. Yeah, we're talking about.
Yeah, these are ongoing workshops, right?
They are every other month.
Okay.
So every other month we host a workshop. It's free. The one August 8th. Goodness, I think it's August 8th, but check the website. It's right on the website. We're talking about legacy giving and plan giving. So like with donors that are getting older, right? They're putting their generosity, philanthropy in their will or their trust. Okay. And so legacy giving is how to approach donors in that way. And legacy giving tends to be a lot more because obviously the assets are released. And so the money tends to be higher.
Yeah. It looks like you got a pretty expansive team. I mean, you have to have a team to cover the whole spectrum. Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about you got some that are coaches, you got tech guys, you got CRM guys, you got
tech guys cover
financial
both of
guys.
That. We've got a little bit on the consulting. We do brush these days the CFO work. So that's usually we're starting to do more of that because in a lot of our campaigns, the finance piece is just, it's a lot of it. And so we need finance guys. So we have campaign strategists, which are people that can run the capital campaigns and the annual campaigns. And that's a lot of work. You know, campaigns are just really complicated. In Omaha, everyone's wanting to do a capital campaign anymore and throw up a building on whatever. And so it's really competitive, you know, and there's a lot to it. So campaign strategists, we brought on a few people there. We do have our Thrive coaches, right? Okay. And some of them are part-time, some of them are in-house. They typically meet with anywhere between like 5 to 10 of our clients at one time. Okay. And so they get trained in that Thrive model. They already have the experience, but they have to get trained in the model. And then we release them to the staff or to the clients. And then our tech guys, mainly Zane. Zane holds it down. He's amazing. He's working on one as we speak. So he's great. And we've gotten really done a lot of fun stuff with the tech side. But,
okay. Now more about you personally. What kind of business principles have governed you over the last 4 years? Since you're pretty much the founder and owner and the CEO, and now on the business side, what some of the principles that have governed your decision making? And
I think
because what you're doing is not easy.
Yeah, I think I want to do right by the nonprofits. You know, I think I really want to love what they're doing as much as I can. You know, I don't love it all. You know, I try to. But I really want to love the client as much as we can, because this work is just it's super rewarding, but it's a lot of work, you know. Grind, yeah. And I think we pride ourselves on that relationship with the client and really building a true partnership with them. Yeah. And so, you know, we try to do some pro bono hours and we'll try to cut back on some stuff. And I'm not trying to discount everything or anything, but we try to go above and beyond for them. Carol's a true friend. Right. And her team is a great friend, and Jeanette over there. And so I really believe, and we talk about this too on our team, is we just love the sector. Okay. We love the sector.
What do you love about it?
We love it.
What do you love about it?
The impact. Okay. We get to change lives through helping people who change lives, you know? And it's what
that if they weren't linked to your organization, they wouldn't be able to change lives at the capacity that they are.
Exactly. And I've met people in this work where it's just a paycheck. Right. They just want to make a business. And I get that. I get the business side. You got to do a business, and we have to charge, and just like everybody else. But I think that, and I think our clients feel that we really love the sector, and we're for it. Jessica is in it. Right. She's very in the community. Yep. She goes and volunteers at places for free, obviously. But we just go volunteer. We just love it. And I think people will say oh, do you want to get into this market or that market? I'm well, number one, I don't think it's a good move for us, but also I don't want to. I love what we get to do, and I think that really bleeds into our work. So
yeah, that's unique. The nonprofit sector is that's what you're passionate about.
We just love it, man. I do it for free. I can't do it for free.
Yeah, you're not a nonprofit.
Don't disclaim that. I can't do it for free, but I love it, man. And I think and when we started it, it was like, who do we want to help? I mean, we could do some sales training for some, like whatever. And that's fine. But I really that first year, I was wrestling with that. Like, do we just do nonprofits? And year 2, I was like, nope, this is what we're going to go for.
Okay.
This is what we're going to build.
How were you able to make that decision based on the relationships, the passion that you have for that sector?
I think that, but also like, I think it sharpened our brand. Like not diluting our brand.
Yeah.
Not acting like we know stuff that we don't know. Like, I don't know how to do what you did.
Right.
Like, I don't know how to run a roofing company.
Right.
I don't. Like,
what do you know how to do? What do you own? What are you absolutely certain about? When you align with me, we're going to get this done.
Yes.
What is that?
Nonprofits.
Fundraising?
Yeah, fundraising.
Specifically?
That's it. That's all we know. I don't know a lot of things, but I do know the nonprofit sector. I know fundraising. I know board management. Like, anything that deals with the nonprofit, we can do it.
Huh.
And you know, it's like, I could act like I know how to like do this and try to charge over, like, and I've seen people do that. I've worked with people and I'm like, this isn't your lane, but whatever. But like, it's like, what do we know and what can we just be the best at?
And how can maximize our impact in the community, and this is it.
And not do other things.
Right.
Because if we try to do those other things, we're not going to be the best at this.
How hard was it to turn some things down that you knew wasn't in your lane?
Yeah.
In your signature strength
I mean,
set?
you know how it is. Like,
Especially
money wise, you know, you're like,
take anything and everything.
Especially in the beginning. I mean, I've coached a few business friends, like startups and like guys trying to get going out of friendship, and not really, like a little bit, but a little bit, yeah. And even like churches.
Yeah.
So I did have some church background, but I never did like a huge capital campaign at a church.
Why?
Oh, I just never had the experience. I never I never had the experience. I never did it. So could I like watch a YouTube video or something? I mean, I guess, but I think
practice on somebody.
I think something with our clients is like, they know I was in it for so many years.
That's the value
and I can
proposition.
just speak to it where it's like, I've been yelled at by a donor.
Right.
A couple times.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've been where cash flows weren't great, but like revenues were good, but cash flows were awful. And like, I know that grants, you know, can come and go and like hit or miss. And I feel the pressure from boards. Like, I've felt that before. And so I think clients resonate with that, you know, and it's not made up.
Right.
I'm not making it up.
How does that same level of certainty, how does that trickle down to your team? How do you impart that in every level of the organization so that no matter who they're talking to, they experience that same level of certainty and confidence?
I think it's who we hire.
Yeah.
Is who.
Because now you got somebody in Phoenix.
Yep.
They're going to be isolated.
And Grace she's
top notch.
Amazing. But she comes from it.
Right.
And I'm really like, Jess has sent some people our way. And I'm like, no offense, like they're great people, but and like we can learn. I'm like, there's certain roles, admin roles that we have. There's some, you know, things that we'll put people in. But the only people we hire that are for campaign strategists and for coaching are people that have been in it. Okay. We won't train people. I do train them, but I won't train somebody who's never been in the sector. I won't do it because it's too hard to train and clients will sniff it out. They'll know because you know, you have to have been there. And I can't training manual that. You know, you've had to get through the ringer a little bit and then I'll put you in, you know, and then we'll sharpen you. But there's some roles we train for, obviously, and that's fine. And even like Jess's role, like she didn't come from the sector, but she's really, you know, sales and ops. And so, but like if I'm in front of a client here and we're working with a client, like it's gotta be, I have to have been there. Or that's what they pay us for.
Been there, done that.
I got to be able to, but I'm also on top of like where things are today and where the market is today with donors and stuff like that.
How would you describe or define that market from a 30,000
for nonprofits or donors?
Both. Nonprofits in general, looking to scale their nonprofit. Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of times.
Is it a business?
What is?
Nonprofit.
I mean, legally, yes.
Right?
Legally, it is. It's there,
and it has to.
Of course it is. Yeah. I mean, it's both, right? It's the impact, the service you provide in the community, but also it is a business, right? It runs as a business legally. And I would say it is a business and an impact vehicle. The business side is where a lot of people, and even myself in some ways, when they got thrown into this, they weren't trained in that.
No.
I mean, were you trained in fundraising?
No, there's
not me really either. But like and there's not really, I mean, there's some degrees and stuff, but none of that really teaches you.
No.
You get in, you're like, okay, a lot of our clients are like, okay, like, oh, my cousin has a lot of money or something. And they want him to donate. It's like, how do I approach? They don't know.
Right, no clue.
They don't know, and I didn't know either. And I think that's where, you get tagged at, maybe a board gives you a goal, and they're like, go raise $500,000. Good luck.
Right.
And it's like, that's where groups, we come in and try to get them there.
Yeah, one of the latest examples of that is I've seen some of the churches that are, they're not quite big enough to hire staff, or let's say an associate pastor or youth pastor, but they need support.
Yep.
So the youth pastor or the associate pastor is responsible for fundraising their own salary.
Yeah.
So it's like, now what do I do?
Good luck. Good luck. I mean, that's how I felt. I mean, in a lot of ways, I mean, there's so many people in my seat where they were, young in their nonprofit career, and someone said, "Hey, go, we need to hit $300,000," and you're like, "Where? Who? What?"
Right. I got no idea.
I have no idea, and so, and that's I think the benefit, especially of like a Thrive program, where it's like, I mean, we start at ground level with a lot of Thrive clients, and but people might say like, "Oh, just go ask them for money." If you're saying that, you don't really know how to raise money. There's so many layers to fundraising because people are giving away their hard-earned money.
Right.
And there's a sales aspect of it, but there's also like understanding donor philosophy and how donors think.
How do they think?
They're all different. That's the hard part.
Because we donate.
You donate, yeah.
Right.
And every donor has a different motivation.
Right.
So I know, your guys' background, Nick's background, like I'm assuming, they're I won't use Nick because I don't want to put him on blast on the podcast.
You can use me.
But like some people give it for religious purposes.
Sure, and out of obedience.
There's a belief system out of obedience. Some people have a marketing purpose.
Yes.
Some people have a tax purpose.
Yes.
Some people have a legacy purpose.
Right.
Some people have this is just good karma.
Or they believe in the principle of sowing and reaping.
Exactly. Or there's other motivations that sometimes aren't as healthy, but donors I think that's a hard thing about fundraising is like they all come from different motivations.
Yeah.
So as a fundraiser, I have to understand like, why would you want to partner with us?
Right.
And can I feel that out? Can I understand it? Can I ask the right questions to get that? And so fundraising is, a foundation versus a family office versus a individual family, a widow that's lonely and has money but just doesn't know what to do. There's so many groups of people I've talked to, sat down with, and they're all different, and they're all giving for different reasons.
Right.
So, yeah.
I'm a chiropractor. I just retired after 30 years. But chiropractic is kind of a science, a philosophy, and an art.
Yeah.
And a mixture of all that. It sounds like a lot of similarities.
Very similar.
In terms of,
that's super similar.
There's an art to it. There's also a science to it, but it's rooted in a strong philosophy.
Yeah. And I've made mistakes with donors where I'm like, ooh, that was a mistake. And I learned, and you got to go through the ringer a little bit. But yeah, like you said, that there's a heart piece, but there's a science piece too, especially on the foundation side. And so you throw somebody into all that, and you're just like, hey, hit your goal.
Right.
I don't know.
What's in closing? What's What's the most fulfilling part of what you're doing now?
Oh man. I would say, just seeing our client success, seeing clients.
How do you define and determine
seeing how they grow?
Personally or as an organization or
both? Both.
Okay.
I've seen our leaders grow personally. I've seen boards get healthier.
There you go.
I've seen them raise money more. It's always the money thing. But I don't know. That excites me, but for me, it's seeing the organization go to another level.
Yeah.
Which
Thrive.
there you go. Typically includes money, but
Right.
seeing the leaders get healthier, seeing things like click. It's like, dang, that makes sense. Or, seeing different opportunities. Yeah. So I just love seeing our clients personally and organizationally go to another level, financially. Systematically, operationally. So, yeah.
Health and well-being.
I love it. I mean, fundraising, yeah, usually, unless you haven't gone crazy yet, unless you haven't beat your head against the wall, because it can.
I'm sure it can, just like anything else.
It can. So.
Well, I appreciate you.
No, thank you for having me.
Excited for what you guys are doing.
I
really
appreciate
making a big impact. What would be your, let's say, a sales pitch to somebody? They're a nonprofit. They started a nonprofit.
Yeah.
Have no idea what they're doing. They're just more driven by the passion, or maybe they heard from God that they're supposed to move in this direction.
Yeah.
Or whatever. What would you say to somebody that?
I would say, you want me to look at the camera? No.
Hey, that'd be great.
You want me to go close to the camera?
Not talking to you, but I am.
I would say whatever phase you're at in your nonprofit, whatever you're frustrated with, we can help.
Doesn't matter.
We can help.
Doesn't matter how bad it's been.
And no matter how lonely it feels,
Yeah.
or how much pressure you're feeling, we can come alongside, and you're not alone.
Right.
And I think especially for our smaller ones, it can be very lonely.
Yeah.
And confusing. And so that would be my pitch is
Why not come along somebody that's been there, done that, made all the mistakes,
Yep.
learned everything that there is to learn, and now is just looking to support and help.
Yeah. Not alone. Even in the bigger ones, I've seen them where they're just beating their head against the wall trying to get a campaign across the board. We can help.
Right. Well, I appreciate you.
Yeah,
Excited
Nick.
for what you guys are doing in the community,
Thank you,
making big
Nick.
impact. So thanks again, Royalty Roofing and Siding. We'll see you next time on the Nick and Nick podcast.